because she was on the song Wait For You with Future.
Right.
I just think this just is like, it's just one of those cases where, what's it called now? With a single song, your life just kind of, I don't know, changes in a way, because that Essence song just keeps going, because there's absolutely no reason why Whiskey and Thames are sharing an award.
Right.
There's no reason, if not because, of course, they were on maybe the biggest Afrobeat song from maybe the past year or the past 2 years. So I think that's why they are both. Yeah, but for me, it's just like, okay, when will this song just stop winning?
Maybe it's just one of those songs that will be around for a very long time. I won't stop winning.
Not a classic song, but I won't.
Oh,
I won't go too far.
It's rest.
I've rested now. Okay.
Bottom line is that the
Enough.
song has, been able to achieve all the accolades and awards.
They don't
and
get their Grammy shower.
probably money. But even the nomination at the Grammys is enough. You don't need to,
well,
lift the award or lift the prize, but you have to give it to them. And we cannot say music. Good music is it has to have
be
the capability.
timeless.
Yes,
Has to be
timeless.
timeless,
That's what I'm saying.
Davido.
That's the part where you say pun intended. But so we have to give it to them. I mean, whether regardless of how long the song has been there for. I mean, sometimes where here out here we do the whole year in review thing and say, okay, after 1 year the song probably should not get any award again, but you can see clearly that at the other end.
That is why nobody takes things like the IAT Awards seriously. Sorry, because all of this, I said what I said, yes. Because all of
I get what you're saying,
all of these kind of things where a song that has come out 2-3 years ago is only 3 years later. I'm just like, please now, let us be serious here. Is it like a decade spanning award? Is that what what you guys are doing?
Another thing is that sometimes when if you have slept on something or a situation, say let it not be as if we will not did how many years of this award, and we don't even award this song that's gone even with the Grammy. So let's say,
so it's not like a consolation prize.
You get one. We all
get one.
We all get one. So you see, exactly, and whenever people get one like that, the value is no longer quite
absolutely.
So anyway, it just means in the world you still have the Grammys, which is like specifically from this month to this month. If you're outside of that particular time period, then forget it.
So, would we say that Thames is the biggest female artist from Nigeria right now?
That's a very hard one to talk about, actually, because I don't think she is.
It's arguable.
I think in the West she is. Across the continent, it's probably Tiwa Savage. And the person who is hot is Ira Star. So it's a bit of, in my own view, like a distribution thing that's opening with the female, what's it called, pop stars we have. I think Tiwa is really the biggest artist on the continent.
Okay.
However, Ira Star is the hottest one because I think she's had like hot singles over the past 2 years or 3 years even, Then because of Thames' success with the Wait For You track as well as Essence.
The international success.
So in the West, I don't think anybody comes close because I don't know that have they invited what's her name? Tiwa to the Oscars? I don't think so.
I'm sure she was invited. She probably would have attended.
We would all know.
Can we quickly throw this question? Where do we place Yemi Alade in all of this?
Jesus. You're looking for trouble. That's what you're looking for, James.
No,
this is not an innocent.
This
is not an innocent question.
You've got Arasta, you've got Tiwa Savage. You've positioned them. Where do you put Yemi Alade? Who's
Yemi Alade
doing very well out there as well?
Wait, calm down. I feel like we have always overrated.
Spaces and
it's
stuff.
Not true. I feel like we have always overrated she does it, and so we follow her, I guess. I think we overrate Yemi Alade's success.
Overrate?
With our success outside of the continent, outside of the country, actually. I think specifically she appeals to francophone audiences. Yes, and even that, I do not know that she's at like the highest level of, of course, the French are kind of snobbish. So I do not know that she's, occupying places where opera singers, for instance, are occupying in the French
that would be
imagination.
Difficult.
Exactly, so I'm saying we kind of overrate it. There's money, of course, I'm not going to argue that. But I feel like in terms of like, where are you getting placed? If you're talking about we're talking about the Grammys, the Oscars, Thames is there. We are talking about France. Maybe you're thinking about the César, which is the equivalent of the Oscars. And I can't remember what the music award is for France. But we are sure that Thames is not getting that because we know that for a fact, because otherwise we would know by now. So I'm saying we kind of overrate that thing. So but in terms of the markers, prestige and a wide following, I think Thames has gone a lot further in the West. Nagemi has gone in the francophone speaking countries.
Okay, Ian says, please, where is my Asha?
Unfortunately, we are in a very funny country. I made a comment to a friend of mine, this is last year, about that. How you know Nigeria is a very terrible country for pop music is that, what's his name? Kata Efe, the Instagram comedian. His song, that ridiculous song about whiskey, Machala, has probably, definitely been more popular than any song Asha has ever released after her first album. So this is, Asha is a fantastic artist. I think nobody
but she's
can
just
argue
maybe
that.
Not the commercial kind of artist.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the concept in certain kind of country, Asha will be in this conversation, but she is not, and that's because of how we are as music consumers in this country. So I think
Oris.
a few years ago she would be here, but I don't think anymore.
No, can we also add that Asha also left the country and was not, even with the concerts and everything, wasn't doing a lot.
Davido left the country too. Whiskey too.
No, hold on. How many minutes did Davido
left for? They are very in touch.
Asha signed an international deal and left the country completely.
Wait, that's not okay. That's true, but maybe it's not the entire truth, because Asha also has like a concert probably every year or every 2 years.
No, when did they start
that?
Wait, when did they start it?
No. As far back as 2015, she was doing stuff like that.
We're in 2023.
You know what's been
That's
happening?
what I'm saying. That's what my point is that so she did that, but 2 years ago I think she also had a concert at Eco Atlantic.
Yes, she has now started having, like, somebody decided to go ahead and say, okay, let's create something for Asha in terms of having a show every year. And I think it was Basketmouth that was promoting the.
Are you telling me you really think? Wait, James. But in your heart, are you telling me you really think that if Asha was in Nigeria, she'll still be as big as she was in 2011?
No, we cannot. Nobody can say that. Just nobody can say that's how it's going to be. But Asha,
she had a song with Whiskey. Remember that? That song is not really pop.
Oris, Zibby, can we also establish the fact that Asha is not particularly making pop music or popular music?
That's the thing. Her style of music is not to that level, right?
But Asha would have been able to secure a major space. See what what's his name? Brimo is doing as well. Brimo is not your regular pop artist.
Yes.
So Brimo has been able to have a niche for himself and has established that space where when Brimo is having his what's that chaos organized chaos. Yeah. Have you been to any of them? It's crazy. You see like this guy has a huge
Have you been
fan
to
base.
Asha concerts? Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not comparing.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. All right. So a few days ago, and we didn't speak about this on the Grapevine. There was an incident or an interview, a very interesting interview that was granted by AY, who's a comedian and former acquaintance, and when I mean former, I mean 16 years ago acquaintance of Basketmouth, and he gave a lot of details about what Oris stuff about what had transpired in the past. Well, anyways, Basketmouth has not addressed that, but he's gone on to say, look, I have a 5-year plan. After 5 years, it's sayonara to comedy.
So
that means goodbye, of course.
That is goodbye. So I don't know why he wants to do that, or why, if you look at people, the other guys at the other end. So if it's stand-up comedy, like, okay, you will not find Basketmouth standing somewhere and holding the mic and trying to make people laugh. That's different.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm talking about,
though. So, but when it comes to the business of comedy, I don't think there's any time you don't need to stop at any time. I'm looking at what's his name, Alibaba. After how many decades, he's still having this is January 1st event, or should I say comedy show,
comedy concert.
So but I think he understands what he's saying, and sometimes when somebody makes statements like this, the media has a way of fine-tuning it to make it certain. So but I understand if he's saying that he will quit stand-up comedian, which is actually, well, it's okay. I mean, I don't know how funny it can be when you are 50 and how many people will come
only
if you carry them.
But I think what's funny, Eddie actually hasn't had like a concert since 1989 or 1991. I think he only had 2
massive SNL appearance at that, was
but he didn't really tell any jokes. I remember that one. But anyway, but I think what's really happening with Basket is he's found a more lucrative thing to do. Yes, because I think he said at some point that he had made more money with his TV shows than he did for all of the years he was doing comedy. So I think he has. I think at the moment he's very much plugged into the whole. I think DSTV thing. He has
some TV programs.
There. I think he's very much plugged into that. So I think that's what he's probably going to move his business to. Then he also has recorded successes as a recording artist. Yeah, I think it's 2 albums. I think I've done
I
quite
actually
well.
listened to some of the one that
He's
was done in
gotten
2021.
a
It's
bunch
quite
of
decent.
Eddie's nomination, I think.
Yes.
So I think he's just thinking that all of these other things have brought in more money. So why don't I devote a lot more of my time and
Would it
resources to
have
that?
also have something to do with the fact that right now stand-up comedy seems to be taking a bit of a backseat compared to the guys who are shooting skits on social media?
Yeah. I wonder if I don't know if he's threatened by all of that.
Or he's
But you're
noticing
right.
the changing landscape.
Yes. But you're certainly right. But I think the thing is, a lot of our people probably did not even evolve in the way that maybe say only one person has done it, so you can't even say it's even normal. Say Trevor, for instance, who managed to get something huge in the US. You know, none of our people was able to get that, so it meant that and it's not like we are getting specials like maybe Chris Rock, for instance, on Netflix, which is a lot of money as well. You know, so somehow it means that the market over here for stand-up, it involves a lot of work. I know that if you are going to play at a hotel, for instance, you probably need to meet like 3 million brand managers to try and get them to arrange seats. This is like crazy amount of networking, you know. So I think it's probably just easier to say, let me shoot something, give it to a network, they pay a certain amount of money, and then we are kind of fine. And I have royalties or licensing deals, and that's it. So I think financially, it's a better move for him than to put all of his powers trying to organize stand-up shows.
Okay. All right. Let's take a quick break, and when we return, we'll continue the conversation. This is The Grapevine on Smooth 98.1.
Hello, everybody. I come in the support.
Yeah, but yeah, Basket, he has to be in his maybe late 40s or 50 now.
Mid 40s.
I don't think he can be up to 50s.
I know that AY is older, and older is 51.
AY is 51?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but yeah.
Oh, damn. I didn't know he was that.
Yeah, AY has very good genes, I have to say.
Yes.
He's a very lucky man.
And he will probably invest in a lot of hair dyes and stuff.
maybe you're right.
What'd you say, James?
I think he's probably investing in a lot
in
of
hair dyes.
Hair dyes? What?
He's dyeing his hair.
Oh!
So just saying, you know. But
Oh,
yes, he
wow.
has good genes and he seems to be very fit as well.
He is, yes.
Yeah, he actually does look.
He said he's confident
I
in
saw it
doing his
sometime,
interview
yes.
with Trudy now. That's, I mean, Basketmouth can be, or it's probably his senior colleague in the business.
No, he's older, of course.
but he's older
yes.
age-wise.
But I still don't understand.
Basket
He
Blue
spends
first.
way too much time talking about basketball.
No,
Not too much,
it
they
wasn't
asked
because
him
it was
now.
regular
Yeah, but I mean, okay, I only watched bits and pieces. I didn't watch the full.
Yeah, that's
interview.
exactly. Yeah, it was about an hour conversation.
So was that whole hour about basketball?
No, of course
No,
not.
of
No,
course.
my
It's
thing is-
only what you saw was about basketball.
That was
Zibby-
like 10 minutes.
Zibby is one of those ones that used to just read headlines. Say,
Oh,
oh,
I'm not.
They have done it again in the
No, I
market.
actually, no, because I knew I was going to talk about it. I had to watch the thing. But I thought it was too much time.
No, it was
Someone
no now.
asked
That's
me-
no,
it.
he
10
narrated the
minutes.
proper story.
It was.
It was not. No,
It
wasn't.
was.
The
No,
two
but he
clips
narrated
that
the
were
story.
online were like 2 minutes and another
No, they were
3
like
minutes.
1, and there were like 6 or 7,
No,
and then I
no,
saw
no,
a
no.
different one. I'm serious.
Nah.
But that was
It was
that
too
was
much
the
time.
hottest part of the interview anyway. Even if
That's the
it was
part
20,
that
was the
today
hottest
put
part
out
of
so
the
that I can get more people to like
Get-
want to see the
But I'm
video.
just thinking, like, if someone asks me a question about someone that I have some beef with, and of course you need to answer if you want to, I'm not gonna spend 1 minute.
No, but let me
talk.
tell you what that also says. AY really wanted or still
AY
wants
is
to
a
be
good- AY is a good
Basketmouth's
guy.
friend. He really wants to be Basketmouth's friend. In fact, this can be an avenue to say Basketmouth CEO. If I lied in any way,
Wait, you
I
have
still
someone that
try to be
don't
your
cool,
guy.
like you walk up to the person, bright Okmocha. We need to settle. That's like, whoa, those are fighting words. Why are you first naming and middle naming me?
No, Zibby.
Oh wait, we were streaming. You're listening to The Grapevine on Smooth 98.1. Zibby here, and I've got my co-anchors, James and Oris.
Absolutely.
We're talking about everything related to entertainment. And we've got some messages coming through. And Daisy says, Asha is mad talented, but her music is not for everyone. As for Basketmouth, why wait 5 years? Please quit now.
Ow.
Wow.
Oh.
Daisy.
That's
Daisy.
harsh.
Daisy. Why?
Why so upset?
Why so?
Why are you trolling?
Wow.
Okay, and Ikechukwu says, I think Basketmouth has addressed the issues between him and AY on Ebuka's show.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
but
was,
he didn't
that
do
was
it
before. That was
elaborately.
a while ago.
He didn't tell the story, you know. He
It
didn't
wasn't
tell the story.
specific. He just presented the broad outline of what
Very
happened.
shallow, yeah.
Okay. And another message from Chibike. Chibike says the Nigerian stand-up comedy scene is different because in a more developed market, there's still Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, and a number of others killing it at their ages with massive shows and tours. You shouldn't be too old for stand-up, but the Nigerian audience is strange.
Because
Very,
it's Gen
very
Z.
hard
But
place to do
Alibaba
business.
is
Some of
way
this-
older than either of
No,
the
but
guys
when
on
was the last
Am I
time you saw
Right?
an Alibaba joke? It's been a long time.
Stand-up?
Yes.
He has the stand-up thing, and maybe just before the pandemic, which put a lot of things on hold. But I know he does that thing in London.
And let me tell you, everybody's beginning to start making like real mature jokes that might not sound funny to Gen Zs. And you're like, okay, what are you saying?
Why does everybody feel like why must Jay-Z be the market?
No,
all
they
the
have to.
time,
They are the
anyway?
market right now. So if you're not funny, you're not telling us things that we want to hear right now.
We want
they'll be like,
woke jokes.
what are you saying?
Yeah,
Knock,
that's
knock.
true though, because people are easily offended by a lot of things these days. So they're like, comedy is meant to be offensive. So let me just
You
take a
know,
step
Make a
back.
joke about Hausa, they're like, Hausa people. But Igbos are so just like,
Wow.
let me just stay in my house, please.
Are we getting too sensitive though?
Of course, I think
I-
yeah, that's the big fat thing here. But I think part of it's also imported behavior. It's an American thing. I don't think we have those issues here. But people who want to feel like they are part of the global community are like, you know what, let's just take some of there because I don't see it.
People who want
I
to
don't
feel
see
like
it.
they're part of the global
Yeah, because
Wow.
I don't see it. I think we have more pressing issues than to be getting angry at a joke. You know, but if you want to act like you're American, you feel that way. But generally, I feel like Nigeria has too many issues for you to start getting angry about somebody making a joke about where you're from. Please.
All right. So Habib Okikiola. By the way, did
AKA
you...
King.
Okay, so you probably don't know who Habib Okikiola is, but I'm gonna tell you in a little bit. So Habib Okikiola.
Go ahead. Go back to your
Habib
song.
is a very interesting character. And you know, at the start of the show, Oris was talking about how he was a baboon. Okay, you know what? Portable is Habib. It's weird. You never really think Portable has a real first name and last name. You just think he was named Portable from birth.
You know, for a second, I was like, I was waiting for you to land. Like, oh, okay, who are we talking about? I saw something like a movie yesterday, and the person's name was Happy. I was like, okay, wait, we're talking about a character. So, well, yeah, so that's Portable.
Portable, yes. Habib is such a nice name. So Portable recorded a video of himself. I think it might have been a live stream.
Yes,
He
it went
was
live.
Trying to be. The police were trying to
When you
arrest
say
him.
recorded the video, that's understating it. He recorded chaos. That video was chaos.
Well, the police are saying, "Look here, Habib or Portable. We will not take this. We will prosecute you. You will be arrested for hurling assaults and insults and
Insults and,
abuse at the police."
Yes, and honestly, he really should be arrested. To be honest, I think what had happened is this: I think people feel like they came into his bar, Odogu bar, as he calls it, to just pick him up. But actually, somebody had petitioned, had kind of raised an alarm about Portable's behavior, and they had tried to get him to come to the station, maybe like several times, and then he had refused. And so they're like, okay, since you won't come, we will come and get you. And they said at the one of the statements, one of the statements they made was that when they arrived to like arrest him, one of the things they did was to strip, so as to cause a scene.
One of those times, not this one.
This one of this, no, I think this particular one, but maybe before the video began, you know, they said apparently he stripped just to create a scene, and then chaos, or the started shout, all of what we now saw now kind of followed. So, and he didn't go with them. But I think that to prevent anarchy, we should grant the police some kind of respect. I know that their PR is really, really bad in the streets, but I think that to some extent we really need to respect the police. And
I think to every extent, because that's the law.
Exactly, you know. But yeah, but Habib says that Habib, aka Portable, feels like what did that thing he said? He said something about how if you want to see a superstar, you should invite him with money. It's like,
wow,
this guy is
this
ridiculous.
is illiteracy and ignorance at the worst level.
Yeah.
So I also think that the way maybe the approach was somewhat questionable.
What approach, James?
As in,
What approach?
They showed up, police showed up.
As they
They
should.
showed police a bit, and then they came, no uniforms and stuff, and ID cards too were not in display because it was at a point he was asking, "Show me your ID card." Do you understand? And then no ID cards were shown, and then the car they came with, you know, these small buses, what's it called, commercial buses
They are both a
that they
limo.
came with, No, I mean police have
Well,
their
police should
there's
be
a way
clearly
when they show up,
identified as
when they
police.
show up,
Yes,
you
yeah.
know that
but,
these are
but
police.
they had their they had their jackets on. I saw
Hold
the
on a
video.
sec. Hold on a sec. I don't know about jackets.
I saw the jackets though.
Jacket parts, you know. And then jacket is not actually enough. For you. Anybody can have a jacket and wear a jacket. Do you understand? I mean, I've had a situation personally where I was walking somewhere around First Town, and they stopped that kind of bus, and the guys that came out had cutlass and stuff. I wait, hold on a second. You guys, who are you? Do you understand? I mean, it wasn't for me. I was the witness to what happened, and they stopped and they pulled out cutlasses, and the cutlasses had red clothes, and they were like, "What exact are these called? What exact?" And then they're policemen, and they moved the guys into that small bus and left. So, I'm sure possible that situation was not new to him, but he just used that whole going live and the chaos that he pulled up there to avert
to avoid
getting
arrest.
And so the policemen left. Did they?
Yeah,
so
it appears
I
they
mean,
did.
appears they left. I mean, because if he was left, those same police, if he was dragged to the station, those same policemen would have recorded him as well in the station, probably being humble, you know. And I don't know why they left, because if you came here if you do your job, whether you like go live on 1 million platforms, they are still going to carry you. So I can understand that after some time they would have thrown him somewhere, because he now went to a cage or something that looked like a burglar.
No, yeah.
I mean,
he went inside. He went
he wants to
inside
carry a
his
babu.
inside his bar. Actually,
that was really funny, you know.
but I don't think people understood. There's something he said at some point. Sorry,
Yeah.
where I think he said it in Yoruba. My Yoruba is not strong,
Yeah.
but it feels like he was saying that they were looking for him, or they were after him in Lekki, and he then left. there, went to
So
the
he
bush,
said they chased him.
and they chased him.
He made it
into
seem
the
like
bush.
he made it seem like
You're coming to my. According to what it sounded
Yeah.
like, you're coming to my jungle to come and arrest me.
Yes.
How dare you?
But you see, this is a problem though, that some people think is acceptable when the police are trying to do their jobs, or you see the men on women from the NDLEA trying to accost a drug lord, and people, you know, wade in the battle and try to prevent law enforcement from doing their jobs. That is illegal.
It's ridiculous, because one thing I think people forget is that you cannot win against the state. So even if they didn't arrest him yesterday or 2 days ago, they are going to finally get him. It's just you can never
With a few
really
extra charges on top.
you just would not run away
So
forever. It's just not possible.
What he's saying as well is that I just felt like I said, if you have a substantial reason of coming to arrest him on that very day, look, the police can go back and do it. When they come back next time, all of you, if you are 1,000 people there,
everybody
pack all of you into Black Maria.
Which is also not right.
It's not right, yeah,
Well-
but that is what it will finally end up. That's always what happens. There was this incident. This was somewhere, I think, in the south, where apparently a lady had poured soup on the
Right.
police officers. They came back.
And she was bundled.
Exactly. Remember, yeah, the video went viral. You get to-
See,
it's
you are
just
talking about
it's just how Nigerian police is.
Ordinary leper, if you prevent them from cutting your light, when they come back, bro.
You get, so yeah, I just feel like there's really no need resisting arrest, because you will finally, it's not possible. You want to just keep running. It's just not possible. They'll get you eventually. So I just think it's always ridiculous.
Wow, like Daisy says, can we just commit Portable to Yaba already? I think Portable is a walking cry for help, to be honest.
No, it's not. No,
He's not?
No, he's just typical of a certain type of Nigerian that we don't really see.
A lot
in
of,
public,
yes.
But this is really how
There are
certain
people
part
like
of
this.
Nigeria, part
Yes.
of Lagos behave.
Wow.
It's really a part, yeah.
All right, Lanre says Asha is not in the league of Nigerian hip hop stars. She's good music for mature minds like me, not some gutter singing dude. And Basketmouth comedy in 5 years. Basketmouth comedy Brexit. So it's a Basketmouth exit in 5 times. I thought he'd left already.
Oh.
Please let him leave on time. We need space for
For
better
who?
material up there.
No, but
No,
wait,
please
I
don't
feel like this
disrespect.
is unfair.
Yes.
I think that in Nigeria, between Bovie and Basketball, that's really like our Mount Rushmore of great stand-up comedy. It's between the two of them.
Bovie
Really.
is hilarious though.
Yeah,
I don't know, he does it so
but I don't like
effortlessly.
people just think they're taking too many shots at basket, and I don't
You
think it's
cannot
fair.
disrespect.
That man is brilliant.
Maybe his
Yeah.
comedy doesn't appeal to them.
It does.
He does.
How do
Please.
you
They
know
are
what
just.
can
They
appeal
are
to
just.
someone else?
They are just.
They-
I don't know what's wrong with
They
them.
probably haven't even watched him. They haven't gone for him. So you can't disrespect
Basket-
Basketmouth.
Basket
James,
is
are
great.
you Basketmouth?
Basketmouth looks at you and you start laughing. It's funny. His eyes come. Come on, don't say that about
No,
Basketmouth.
no.
It's
I feel
funny.
like-
Please say it. We love when you tell us what you think.
I don't think highly about some of what he's put on TV. But as a stand-up comedian, no, that man is top 2.
So for TV,
Top
the
two.
second season of Ghana Jollof might not be so
Exactly.
funny.
Even Papa
That's
Benji, I
different.
didn't like.
Papa Benji, second
that was-
season.
even the
First
sec-
season was fine.
The first I didn't like.
Okay,
The
let's
second
go
one-
back to Larry's message. Habib Okikiola, aka Portable, let him learn from the Malian, son named Fashola.
Yeah.
The
yes.
NPF invited Portable 5 times. If he fails to honor the invite, then they should storm his place with no ID card and bound him on top a rickety
It will
Marrow.
actually happen eventually, unfortunately. That's
Maybe
what
it's even happening right now as we speak. Who knows?
Who knows?
You know the
Okay.
fun thing about those guys? They'll come like 5 a.m. Boom!
When you're enjoying your
It's
sleep.
like, what?
Okay, so it's the era of biographies, or what's it called in the
Biopics.
Biopics, thank you. So is there anyone you would not like to see a biopic from?
I would not like. That's a very weird like.
Generally.
Generally,
Yeah.
like an entertainer.
That's
would not
that guy.
like-
Oh, what's his name again? Abib something.
Habib Okeke.
Yeah, that guy. That guy.
Portable.
I don't think anyone would want to shoot a biopic on Portable.
Yeah, but no, but if at some point, I don't know, he has said something about the getting a Grammy before, by the way. If he gets near there, you can be sure that somebody will consider it.
Wow. From the streets
Exactly,
to
you
the
know.
top.
But that's kind of a story. Think
Yeah,
about it. Like,
that is true.
if that ever happens, of course.
So who would you not like to see a biopic from?
The same person. I know. I can't think of anybody else, who is famous, who I feel like I wouldn't like to just
Okay.
see. And I get.
Well, this guy is in jail. He's serving a 28-year sentence for killing a man in 2015.
Sure.
I remember he just got out of jail.
Before then.
And that happened, yeah. So we're talking about Suge Knight. So Suge Knight, Death Row Records, big guy.
Tupac's record label owner,
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg,
The
one-time
one who tried
associate.
allegedly to kill Vanilla Ice, that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so he's in jail right now, but apparently he's working on a biopic. Now it's interesting, straight out of Compton, and the movie about Michelle. I'm trying to remember what that one was called.
Which one? About
Michelle, the singer who was involved with Dre. There's a biopic that she's featured heavily in. I can't remember the name now, but this particular guy has played Suge Knight twice. So I'm guessing if there is a biopic, this
It'll be him
guy,
again.
the same guy.
Yeah.
I agree. It has to be him. That's the only guy. Yeah, truly, I agree.
But I'm just
That's,
wondering,
you know,
how is it even possible for him to be pulling this level of strings from the slammer? I mean, it's crazy.
Well, he is Suge Knight.
No, come on. It's
He's probably like the
somebody's
Don in
actually
prison.
going out. You're releasing somebody today, and then he has a memo already of what to do when he gets out there.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, those things are very simple.
But this guy, I think, is in there for 28 years. I
28
believe.
years, and that sentence just started maybe and I think
Exactly. So I'm just thinking, is it going to be out when he's still there? It's such a
probably
strange-
not. He'll be in jail.
How old is Suge Knight now? You understand? How old is he now?
I think he's in his 50s.
Yeah, probably late 50s.
Yes, because if Tupac was alive, he would be in his 50s, by the way.
Yeah.
Funny story.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think people realize that, actually. Pac
Tupac
died
was
at...
just 25 when
Yeah,
he passed.
exactly. And
Yes.
that's
And that's
97,
like-
96.
Uh-huh.
Wow,
That's-
96.
Yeah, that's almost 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
So think
So would
about
you
it.
see a biopic on Suge Knight? Is there
I
anything we
will.
really need to know about
Ah,
Suge
no,
Knight
no,
that we
no,
don't
no,
know?
I
mean,
will.
we probably
There's
heard
a
a
part.
lot
There's a part of Will Smith's book where he talks about how Suge wanted a part of that Will Smith business, as it was said, and then he called his lawyer. His lawyer called Suge and said that his partner was an FBI lawyer or something, and so they could talk, and of course Suge stopped calling after that.
Good one. All right, we're out of time, but I want to read these messages. El Como says, Zibby, I believe there is a bias against the person of Portable by middle-class Nigeria. Though he is rough around the edges, the way folks refer to him because he does not look like them is shocking. He also doesn't really act like anyone that people want to be associated with
Yes.
generally.
Who sent that message?
El Como.
El Kubo, yeah, he has a point, but still we cannot permit I don't know, the recklessness, the behavior, simply because we want to be politically correct. The fact of the matter is that Habib is a very chaotic individual, and we should be able to say that, irrespective of his class.
All right, final message. Lanare says, I saw Basketmouth perform last month at the O2 in a very packed hall, part of his ongoing 15-city worldwide tour. He's still our finest export when it comes to stand-up. You can tell he puts the work into his stand-up craft. Give the man his flowers and then give him some more flowers.
Absolutely.
That's Larry
I'm
from
so
the
happy to
Apart.
hear that. One person at least.
Well done, Larry.
Thank you, Larry.
Right.
All right, that's all the time that we have for Grapevine. James and Oris, you can catch them on social media.
James Silas
Yes.
on social media,
And
Instagram,
catch
Facebook,
Oris.
everywhere.
And on
Catch
YouTube,
Oris.
the James and
The
Oris
James
Show.
and Oris show. It's popping, guys.
All
James and
right.
Oris show is popping.
It's popping, and that's what James and Oris say. Do stay with us. There's a lot more to come on the Smooth Breakfast from 9 a.m. We get talking on Lagos Talks. Dang. People went in on Basketmouth.
I feel like, yeah,